Hi guys, you're welcome to the Chitchatshow on Elevated TV and Elevated TV Radio. My name is Eidafi Matthew Esiogene. We're still locked down somehow. Now it's a partial lockdown, that's what we call it. So I'm reaching you from my bedroom, my visitor's bedroom. And I have a wonderful guy, Babatunde Ogunseinde is his name. He is, what I call him now, a teacher, an instructor, and a coach. Varsity teacher, that's what I'll call him. What we call a university lecturer in Nigeria, as well as a coach. He's coaching a team, a university team, and they are doing well. And then my joy, my delight is the fact that he's in Nigeria. And now beyond all of that being in Nigeria, he's also someone that Sam, a trusted person, Sam Mbonu, introduced to me. And I feel good knowing that okay, this is our brother, and it's an opportunity to tell his story on the show as we always do. So I'm going to bring him on board and get him to tell his story the way it is, because nobody knows you better than you. So guys, please, without further ado, let's make welcome my guest on the show tonight is Babatunde Ogunseinde, or should I say Coach Babatunde Ogunseinde. Babatunde, you're welcome to the Chitchatshow on Elevated TV. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you too?
I'm fantastic. I'm partially locked down. Probably I could say I'm 100% locked down because I've really not gone out since this whole lockdown thing started. So I would say I've been locked down, gone out maybe just to buy fuel and the rest, where you don't understand what it means to go buy fuel for generator apart from your car. But how is it? How's the COVID-19 in your head, in your neck of the woods? How's the COVID-19?
Well, I mean, we've been on lockdown too. I mean, school closed, work closed since March. And until recently, they just started easing it. They give you an instruction for 25% capacity and 50% capacity. And we don't know what's going to happen in the coming week. So yes, we've been experiencing the lockdown. We've been encouraged to stay at home. We've been encouraged to do the normal precautions, wear a mask, no hugging, no shaking of hands, use hand sanitizers, wash your hands. So I think it's basically a global phenomenon. Everybody kind of knows the words that go around. So that's it. And we'll be managing well. We're trying to keep sane, keep fit, and
All right.
We won't let it bog us down.
Okay, for our viewers who are following, they'll be wondering, okay, where is he speaking from? Because in my introduction, I actually didn't do that. So let's get to meet you, Babatunde. Who is Babatunde? Where are you? Where are you originally from? Where are you right now? What are you doing? Let's take the story up from there.
Okay, well, I'm speaking from Houston, Texas. That is where I live until any other thing happens, if I have to move. Yeah, I'm originally Nigerian, I'm Nigerian, I'm Yoruba, I'm from Ogun State, but I was born and raised in Ibadan, Oyo State. I always like to put this in there, if we're practicing true federalism in Nigeria, since I was born and raised in Ibadan, I should technically be from Oyo State. Yeah. But my lineage is from Ogun State, so that makes me Ijebu. So anytime I'm trying to fill up a form in Nigeria, I always put Ogun State. Yes, I'm proud of where I'm from, but I kind of feel like I'm more from Ibadan, from Oyo State, because that's where I grew up all my life. My primary school, my secondary school, later part of my secondary school was in Lagos, but I had to go back to University of Ibadan to finish my university education. So that's basically my growing up. I moved to the United States in 2013. And since then, it's been a whole different journey. Trust me, I've tried a lot of things in my life. Tried music, basically event management, which I still love. I still do music a lot. But right now, I'm a teacher. I'm a soccer coach. So that's the summary of my life.
Okay, so most times people say these words that confuse me. They say things like, when you go to a Nigerian university and you take your certificate abroad, it is useless. It's like wet tissue paper in front of a public toilet. How did you, somebody who went to University of Ibadan, who schooled in Nigeria all his life, all of a sudden go abroad to the United States of America for that matter, and you are accepted to be a lecturer and a coach? I mean, they say in America to get the coaching license or qualification, I mean, there's a devil in the details. Let me put in that word down. And then there is a whole lot of red taping and bottleneck that you have to go through. How did you manage? Because to me, I might be wrong. To me, you look pretty young. And then if I'm calculating the years you had to go through in Nigeria to become a graduate and then go abroad to go get all this certification and qualification before you can even become a lecturer, side by side with that, become a coach. Me, Coach Carter. It's a whole lot. How did that happen?
Well, actually, you're prophesying. So the goal is for me to teach in college, to be a lecturer. I actually teach in high school right now. Yeah, and I also coach high school soccer. Okay, they call it varsity soccer for some reason. I don't know why, but we'll get to that later on. But the goal is to teach psychology, because I teach psychology right now in high school. So the goal is to teach psychology in university and in colleges. That's the aim. That's the goal. Well, actually, when I decided to go into teaching, I presented my transcript from University of Ibadan, and it needed to be translated into the system here. So it needed to be reevaluated. So you had to take it to a particular education body. They will evaluate it for you for a fee, and then they will interpret it and translate it into the American system. So because the American system is different here, so your number of hours, the number of the courses you've taken and all that, they will now, translate it, and you now have to present it to your employers and then to go. So that's what I did. So I used my transcript, I presented my transcript, and they saw my GPA, and that's it. So it's never a waste. Don't get it wrong. It's never a waste once you go to school in Nigeria, because it's a precursor to what can be done. If you don't have a university degree, how can you have a master's degree? So it's never a waste. Yeah, we should be proud of our educational system. In fact, our educational system, I like to say, very good. Now, it's not the best. It is good. It is good in the sense that, of course, we have ups and downs and, and things we're dealing with. But in the good sense that it is fashioned after the British system, which is very, very academic in nature. You get to know the intricacies of what you're studying, especially if you by good teachers. So I'm just going to stop there. So I have to use my transcript and translate it to God reevaluated here.
Okay, so there is also this, it's more common with the younger people, this ideology that once you leave Nigeria and you go to a place like the States, like the US, they pick dollars on the street. Practical. I mean, if you get engaged on social media, Twitter and Facebook especially, this generation, and I've got nothing with this generation. It's about orientation. I was raised not to judge people, but rather maybe subliminally or subtly correct the erroneous notion. But then sometimes when you're in Nigeria and you're saying this thing like, is it not just travel? You traveled there and came back. Do you live there? And things like that. Okay, I have this thing that is always hanging in my head. I was living in Canada and I came back to Nigeria. People be like, why would you leave Canada and come back to Nigeria? What is wrong with you? How can you come back to Nigeria? People, I've had people even tell me, maybe they deported you. Maybe your visa expired. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a long one. But the real story here is it really true that if you go to the US, they pick money on the street, like government just give you money for free, everything. Like if I don't want to work, I can just go and reach out with government. I'm not there work. I'm not give me money. Is it really true?
Well, it's not true, There's no money. I mean, I wish there were dollars on the streets. I'll be the happiest person. I'll just pick some, plant some in my backyard. I start to pluck money. That is far from it. Now, the notion people have people that live in Nigeria is that because things are orderly and most things are readily available, they assume that money flows. Let me tell you something. Cash, as it is, flows better, more in Nigeria compared to United States. I'm sure you know. You've lived in both. Yeah. Before I go on, I really do love your line of questioning. It's very logical. It's not. It's very fantastic. And this is not to demean you. I'm challenged. Now, I'm looking forward to your next question. How I'm going to answer it. Anyway.
Thank you.
So you have to work hard. Everything in the United States is about hard work. You need to go out there and continue to work hard and continue to think. But another wonderful thing is that ideas really thrive here. I mean, not 100%, but if you can have an idea and stick to it and start your own business, you see it grow over time. Of course, every business, every idea has its own challenges, but if you say to your mind, now, for instance, I've had people that are in their 40s or in their late 30s and they get here and they say, well, they want to go back into study medicine or they want to go back to study nursing. And, in 2-3 years, boom, they have a nursing degree and they have it already. So the more you wait, the more you waste your time. I was not going to go into teaching. I was like, I want to go into something else. But I was like, no, my mind, wow, I'm going to go into teaching. And that's it. And it started happening. So it's a desire. You can start from anywhere at any age. And talking about the government giving you money, well, I don't think America runs a welfare system like they do in the UK or even Canada. There's a SNAP, there's a stuff that they give for people that are unemployed. Even if you're unemployed, you have to file for unemployment. You have to apply. You have to show that you're looking for work. You have to report, and they even suggest work for you.
Yeah.
Which some people like, no, we don't want to do this kind of work and all that. So you have to qualify for unemployment. So it's a lot of hard work. But the thing is that the system has already been laid. The foundation has been laid, which is what we are suffering in Nigeria right now. The foundation was laid but wasn't built on. Look at the network of roads in Lagos and many places in Nigeria right now. It was built in the 60s and nothing was virtually added to it. So, is it that to tell you? I mean, they don't tell you, but you just know it that you have to maintain roads and you have to not litter the streets. So it's the orientation that is different. I tell people, if we have half of the amenities we have that are available in the United States, then Nigeria will be one of the best countries in the world. If we have constant power,
absolutely
good roads and water.
Good.
So so there's no dollar on trees, basically.
I do know that. As a matter of fact, I mentor young people and I tell them all the time that it is easier to make money in Nigeria than it is to make money in America. But then life in itself, the system is easier in America than it is in Nigeria. So you've got to make your choice. Now, having said that, in America, you work harder than you work in Nigeria. I mean, people work 4 or 5 hours. And, one of the things that is funny about Nigeria, especially Lagos, is traffic make you think you're working very hard. When you spend in a day, you spend 6 or 4 or 5 hours in traffic, like, oh, I'm tired, even before you start the job. And then you work 3 hours and you start running again. I want to beat traffic. So it is actually traffic that get people a lot working. But in the US, take a nurse, for instance, you're going to be standing for 12 hours for some days. 12 hours. Like you're walking 12 hours. You only have 1 hour break and then you clock in back again, you walk till nobody's having pity on you. And then, or the guy who works in the garage, or the guy who works, and then there are people who work multiple jobs anyway. Now let's come to you. Coaching. I'm a coach myself. I'm a former footballer. I'm a coach. I used to be a coach, then I stopped before I became a media practitioner. Now, coaching is one of the most, you teach psychology, so that's like the easiest transition, the easiest slide into coaching, because every coach by nature is a psychologist. You have to understand what the players think, the opposition thinks, crafting up tactics and all that. How did you manage to gain the trust of the system to enable you, coming from Nigeria again? I'm always going to throw that in, and I'm not saying it to disrespect you, but I have viewers. So
Yes.
I need to make them understand that Nigeria is not an impediment. That's what I've always said. Being a Nigerian is not an impediment. Having the willingness, the readiness to work is what matters. So coming from Nigeria, how did they allow you and entrust you with their kids to coach them?
Wow, that's a good question. I think it all comes from the heart of service. I started as a volunteer coach. I joined a group of people that went to a community and they started an outreach, and the leader of that team, especially the soccer team, was running late from work, and I just stepped in. His name is Matt Skinner. It's one of my best friends right now. He's a great guy. And who happens to be Caucasian. So, but I just have to put it out there. So he was running late. So I was like, and this group of guys were there. There's another person there that doesn't know anything about soccer. He knows something about American football. And and maybe it's upbringing, but I'm a respecter of people's time. The kids got there on time, then they need to be treated well. So I jumped in and I stepped in. Not saying that Matt Skinner is a latecomer. He was just held over work. He has work, So I jumped in and I helped out to organize those kids. And when Matt came and Matt saw me, Matt stood on the sideline and respectfully waited for me to finish my session. Okay? And he came and I handed over the rest of the day to him, and we worked together, and it was beautiful. And when we finished the day session, he came to me and was like, "Hey, are you a licensed coach?" I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm a Nigerian that likes soccer. Like we all do. We can coach with our mouth."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, this is my chance." So I took the chance. The chance came, and I took the opportunity, and I stepped in. So I really don't know why they entrusted me with things like that. I think it just has to do with character. Like I said, I try to get there on time, like every human being should. If you are running late, then apologize or send a message that you're running late, and don't let it be. Don't let it be consistent.
Yeah.
Don't be perpetually.
That's right.
Yeah. Don't just be a habit. Yeah. So I think it's just the way I carry myself too. It appeared that I know what I'm doing. So I did it, and it also how you relate, because the person that recommended me to the high school job has seen me coach others kids, has seen me coach his daughter, and he saw the way I coached his daughter. So, and he was like, okay, well, this guy should be good for this other job, because I treat them with respect, and it's mutual. No matter how young these players are or how old they are, respect is mutual. If you respect people, people respect you back. Of course, be hard on them and tell them what to do, but at the same time, tell them, let them know you understand the position and all that. Encourage them. So I don't know, maybe it's my personality, but I try not to joke with my work. It's a given, is a standard. Don't joke with your work. So,
all right, Coach. Permit me to call you Coach, because I mean it's a professional courtesy. Coach.
That's fine, sir.
The way you sound and everything you've been explaining seems like it's like amala and ewedu, the easiest swallow to take down your mouth to your stomach. It slides in easily, no struggle. This one is soft, this one is smooth. It goes together, probably bread and butter. How many years have you been in the US?
I got here in 2013, December 28th.
Okay, so
So that makes it 7 years,
7 years, 7 years and 6 months, almost 6 months now. So
Mhm.
how's the journey be in this period? What are the highs and the lows? What are those times where you look back and you're like, man, if I decide now, if I stay in Nigeria, and then what
Oh
are
yeah,
those like? I bless God that I came here.
I got here during the winter, so it was cold. So you
Hmm.
can imagine the drastic change. I was like, waiting I can't do for this town.
Who send
And
me?
now, there's the thing that it's Houston. Houston doesn't get as cold as some places.
I know.
So yeah, so for Houston, for me to be comfortable about Houston cold at that time, which I'm not also used to yet. Um,
No,
uh,
but it's a rude shock. You leave Nigeria in December, very hot. Jump into
yes,
the plane, whether it's direct flight or transit, you get to America, and all of a sudden, you are really welcome.
yes,
It's squeezing you tight immediately.
yes. I didn't even have a jacket when I was coming in. so yeah, so that's cool. And then the culture shock, it's just totally different. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me give you an example. Now, if an American is talking to you and you don't look into the eyes of the American, then it appears that you're rude.
And yeah, Yoruba boy
And
who was raised that if you look into the eye of an elder,
it is what
you don't chop
disrespectful.
wish.
Aha, exactly. So I was like look down and all that, and they like feel that what's wrong with this guy? It's not as if I lack confidence. Naturally, I'm a shy person. So again, now for me to have look in somebody's eyes, I can look in somebody that is younger than me and look at, and especially when I want to discipline the person, you know. But someone that is about my age or my height and all that. So that's cultural change and all that. And I have to like learn. And like, why is this person acting weird to me? And it's like, oh, because it's my first job, and we're trained like if you want to welcome a guest, look into their eyes. I was like, I can't do that. I was like, we have to. And I told them why I cannot do that because I feel disrespectful. We'll say, well, they don't mind, just do it. So the transitioning. And I also, at the point, things were too organized for me. When you're coming from, a country that is perpetual chaos, sorry to say, I love Nigeria.
I'm laughing because I've been to too many places: Germany, England, Sweden, Norway, Russia, US, Canada. So I understand what you're saying. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, what is going on? When am I going to cross the road? Am I jaywalking? When I started driving, stop sign, the rules and all that. And if you're walking on the street, you can always look at instructions or look at your phone. Do you have Google Map didn't work then as working right now? So things. So the cultural shock and cultural change was hard. And then again, I missed seeing people around. The communal gathering, relationship where you can just call and say, hey, guy, Sam, you the house, the house, okay, drop your key, I'll go chop for your house. That kind of thing. So I missed that until I started adjusting to it. And I made up my mind I'm still trying for America not to affect me because the people around you which you have to relate with. For instance, if I have not met Sam, I won't meet you.
Absolutely.
So I try not to let that go. I met Sam too, another friend of mine, Bayo. You should interview him too. He's a
Okay.
soccer person.
You hook us up.
Yes.
I'm
Oh yes, definitely. Bayo Liara, she's good. He just wrote a book on Amazon about soccer,
good.
Indian soccer, football
I'll need to hook up
since
with him and
Nigeria.
talk about his book.
Oh yes. Oh yes. You should, please. So it was him that introduced me to him and all that. So that networking is very important. You never know when you need it. So that the transitioning and the culture and the concept of work too really matters. In Nigeria, you can just lie that you are sick. Here, if you're sick, then you won't be paid for that day. So
You also need a
that's it.
doctor's support.
Exactly. In many cases. So I had to quickly adjust to that.
And then how do you have to deal with the I don't know if you've faced that. It's in the front burner today. What everybody's talking about is the Black Lives Matter. But have you ever had to deal with the fact that, okay, once upon a time I was in New York, I was driving, and I don't know if I was driving over the speed limit, but then the whoop whoop, and immediately it was not my knowledge of America or knowing America. It was my movie sense. If I travel, once I'm traveling, I carry my movie sense with me. It was my movie sense that said, whoop whoop does not mean government officials want to overtake you. It means pull over. So pull over. And then I was watching from my mirror. My hand was already on my steering like this. And I was watching. And then the guy goes like this. You know how they come? And I was like, hey. Then I wasn't married. Hey, that's why I think that I live this sweet life. I'm never born. No. Nobody go bear my name. So instead of me to put my hand, I just put my hand like this. I just put my hand outside like, Oga, I'm not doing anything. But have you had that kind of experience? Like anytime? Like have you ever been pulled over and your life is flashing in front of you like this?
Well, sometimes I wish I can have a story for you, but I've never been pulled over. I'm not looking forward to the day I will be pulled over. Yeah, but I've been approached by a police, like, is it twice? The one I remember was I was parked in a property, and where I used to work, I was waiting for our bus because it used to be. I used to work at a non-profit that is based on soccer outreach. So anyway, we had problems with our bus, and I need to wait for the mechanic. So I was parked in the property. I was waiting just beside the bus. And the police car drove behind me, parked right behind me, and walked up to my car. And I was even just relaxing, waiting in the car. And I just sat up and was like, hey, may I know your duty here? It was nice. I was like, well, I'm here waiting for the mechanic. I was like, okay, good. Do you have any weeds in your car? I was like, no. Why are you asking? It was like, I'm sorry. Again, I asked that question. I was like, because there are people that smoke weed here in this environment, and we've been called multiple times, and it's always cars that are parked stationarily. So that's what I'm asking. I said nothing. I'm waiting for the mechanic, and I was like, thank you, have a good day. So that was my first main encounter with the police.
That's the police that they sang that song for. Sent from heaven. That's the sent from heaven. That's the sent from heaven police. May God let you continue to meet the sent from heaven police.
Amen. In fact, may God, I don't want to meet them. I just want to say hi to them from a distance. From a distance.
You got me there. I understand. I won't do it again. Okay. So now, how's experience coaching these kids, these young lads? How's experience been for you?
Okay.
Because for me, I've done so many things. I studied engineering. I teach too. I was a teacher sometime. I've worked offshore. I played professional football in Nigeria and in Sweden. I've coached. I've managed teams.
Wow.
There is a sense of fulfillment that I tell people every day that two things that have blown me away is how I went into radio and I rose to the top and I own my own. And then how I went into coaching, pretty young, and I was coaching boys and then they pick players from my team to national team. How is the experience of coaching, teaching people how to receive the ball, retain it and release it, move into position, understanding channels, those things. And then there are kids, because you're teaching them football, but also building them as humans. How is the experience like?
I'm not going to tell you it's rosy.
I know.
Because we have different personalities, like So, I'm going to different personalities, people that are really good natural talent and people that are really to learn. It required a lot of patience. I remember my first year when I started coaching the high school team, and I saw those players, and I was like, no way. I'm not going to do this. I was like, there's no point. It just wouldn't be a waste of time for me. Then I thought to myself, I was like, well, people won't get better until given an opportunity for them to learn.
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, good. Let's give it a chance. Let's give it a shot. 1 year it's like a building this team. Of course, there was some exceptional players among them, but I said that I was like, okay, good. Let's start from the basics. The basics, okay. And my coaching philosophy is that make it as simple as possible, okay. If they get the simple part, they can get the difficult part. So I started working on passing and receiving. That's it. You pass the ball, you receive the ball. You pass the ball, you receive the ball. Then you make, put certain dynamics into it. Okay? Because if you cannot pass and receive the ball, and you don't have that intelligence to pass and receive the ball, then what that's that. You have the business.
Every complex move in football is a product of the simple move.
Exactly.
It's what I was taught early. Like, for everybody who spell a long word like schizophrenics, discombobulate, you have to first of all know how to combine two words like is, it, come. You know, those small word buts, and then find how to put them together. It's the same thing with playing football. A coach once told me that the best player in the field of play is the guy who keeps the ball the least amount of time to himself. He's the best player on the field of play. And it's something that stayed in my head for a very long time because, I mean, coming from Nigeria, you know how we grew up now. The best player is the guy who dribbles everybody.
Yes.
Because everybody is Maradona. Everybody is Pele. We have our own version of Pele and Maradona in our heads. And then you go to Europe and a coach tells you, your job on this field is to get the ball and release it as fast as possible. But now, what makes you a great player is your ability to release the ball. You have 4 or 3 choices in front of you. There is a player you give the ball to, it's a perfect choice. Your job is to know that. And it worked. It worked very well. But then, you know, in America, when you're coaching school teams and then they're going to play their games, which is different from Europe and Nigeria, their parents will come. And it's a school team. It's not like you can just go on the street and pick any player. Their parents will come. Their parents want to see them. And then you're putting some players on the bench, not because you don't like them, because they don't fit your plan. But then their parents...
That plan for that day.
Yeah, but their parents want to see them play. How have you been able to deal with that, you know, that problem? Or challenge, not the problem.
Okay, so in the United States, they have this concept of, maybe because they are basketball, you know, big and football, they have a concept of saying starters. So we have a starting 11 or starting 5 or starting 6 and all that.
Yeah.
And I hear it a lot. And the first thing I told my team was like, there are no starters in this team. Like you said, if we have a strategy, if it requires the right fullback to sit on the bench, I play 3 defense, that's what we're going to do. Okay? So there's no starter in this team. It's not a privileged position. Okay? You have to earn for every position you play. So that I got into their system. So there'll be especially when I coach a little bit of club soccer. Parents come to me, why didn't my son play for more than 10 minutes? And I tell them that, hey, because the pattern of that team, of that play doesn't go well. I remember as a game we played, as a player of my good right, she plays the right wing. But with the ball, good control, okay, but she's not fast. And I needed intensity that day. So she didn't play. And I told her, I said, this is why you didn't play. Because if I pull you out, if I put someone, I put you in, it will affect the tempo of the game. And I needed that. That team was okay. And the player there at that time was fine, okay? Unless someone got injured. So fortunately, I'm able to relate with the parents. We have a parents meeting before we start the season. We'll sit down, we'll talk about the do's and the don'ts, okay? If you have any issues, let's just talk about it first. You yelling out on the sideline and you making a scene won't work. Okay, let's communicate. If I have reasons, I'm going to communicate the reasons to you. So it's all about communication and setting your precedent. You know, just let them know what you stand for. They know that they're not going to come to me and say some things. They can complain the back, but they know they can't come to me and say something to my face because you know what I stand for. So that's it. That's how I'm able to deal with it. It's all about the players. You know, so a lot of time players caution their parents.
Yeah, yeah.
They go, no, mom, dad, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't embarrass me. I love the team. Let's stay in the team. There's a reason why we're doing things. Unless it has to do something that's harmful to the kid. Then parents can do whatever. But
All right, for me, from talking to you, it seems like you really, really enjoying your stay in America, and God is leading and directing your step. So let's take it back a bit, because my mom, God bless her soul, she's late now. My mom used to say that our greatest joy is not whether I buy cars or I build houses. That's not our business. That's my own dream. Our greatest joy is when we go out and our conduct make people say, oh, good parents, these children are from good home. That's our greatest joy. Or when people see how we behave, like, I grew up in a church setting, Assemblies of God, for instance, and, there's all this thing called youth conference, general, conference. And sometimes when you go, whatever you do, I grew up, Warri is a communal environment. Whatever you do, if your mom is not there, somebody is going to see you and go and say to your mom, now wow, this is your pikin, and a disgrace they bring to us. That kind of thing. But then there's also somebody who will see how you conducted yourself, and then they'll go and see your mom and be like, oh, Christiana, this is your boy, just make me happy. This thing when you do, that thing when you do, So let's get to know your family, your parents, because you represent that conversation of, oh, this is your child, this is your Babatunde. We they happy saying that. When you become a good child, you become our kid. So who are your parents, your family? You didn't fall from heaven.
Oh, well, incidentally, it's my dad's birthday today. Happy birthday, Dad. So
happy birthday, sir. Raising a very good young man.
Oh, thank you. Thank God. And again, just like you, my mom is late too. So, but my dad was in the military and he raised us well. It was mostly on postings, so it was my mom that did most of the work. My dad was really devastated when my mom passed away because he was like, okay, who's gonna continue, doing the job? But we buckled up and we kept moving on. So we, like I said earlier, we didn't have all we needed or wanted, but we were fine. Sunday was special. We ate rice on Sundays. I don't know about you.
My story.
After church.
Same here. It's the greatest meal ever.
Yeah. We look forward to it. I don't know. It's not because we couldn't afford rice every other day, but Sunday was just a special rice day.
Sunday rice is like the precursor to Christmas rice.
Yes, it tastes different on Sundays.
The stew is different. The meat is sweeter. Everything just has a special taste. The curry is different. Everything is just
exactly. Exactly.
Prime and proper. Like that's like chef from the restaurant.
Yeah. So it was a normal family. I'm grateful for my family. We had we got from last time. My father is the 9th of 12 kids. So you should know that I have a lot of aunties and uncles. So that means I have a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
So we're always having this event and that event. Every wedding is a jamboree because we always go and all that. It wasn't expensive weddings. It wasn't over the top, but it was something we look forward to and we enjoyed. I was communal living. I was disciplined like a normal child on the street. I would play ball. I would injure my big toe without shoes. And I'd go back home and my mom would treat me and discipline me for injuring myself. So that's normal life, probably very, very close to how you grew up to. So I was privileged to music, and I remember, I'll never forget my dad. He watched the day Sam Okoroji died, Angola and Nigeria.
1989, August.
Yeah, yes. I can never forget that game. I think they played the game, a previous game somewhere, and it was like, oh, it always brings me. Let's just sit down and watch football. Let's watch soccer together. Let's watch football together. Let's watch football together. And sometimes it's boring to me. I prefer playing than watching. I'll go. Who's all these people now? Rashidi Yakini, who's that? Who's Samuel Karaji? Who's Stephen Keshi? All those people. Samson Siasia. Oljas. Was Oljas 88? Right? Yeah.
No, Maroc 88.
Morocco 88. Okay.
Oljas was 90.
90. The one that Erin also scored the beautiful goal
Okay,
that they disallowed.
Maroc 88.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to show you that.
Yeah, or just 90.
It was just 90. Okay. The exposure that I had exposure to music and football. That one was like always there. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that happened. It wasn't a perfect, life growing up, but I'm grateful for every step. And it can only get better. We have to what our parents missed, we should try and learn from it and train up our kids in a good way.
Okay, now we're winding up to the end of the show, but there are two questions that I like. When we have this cross-border conversation, we always talked about people are quick to say, "Oh, our parents didn't raise us well. This, that. We would do. I would not let my children see the. Okay, I'm in one forum, for instance, and I'm like, I will never let my children see the things that I see. So I want them to be better. And most times I'll be like, if I have the heart to raise my children the way my parents raised me, I'll be the happiest person alive. Because, okay, my father died when I was like 15 months old. I grew up with my stepdad and my mom. But then it is what they did that made me turn out to be like this, not an armed robber or, a problem child to the society, nuisance to the society. So I don't think I want to take that away and then formulate a new formula. Yeah, there are new formula because I didn't grow up with iPad. I didn't grow up with the internet. I didn't grow up with DSTV. I didn't grow up with a lot of things that they face. But then that core principle of discipline is there. I was actually pushing a campaign recently that we should trademark the Nigerian mother slap. I don't know if you ever experienced that, but my mom slapped you faster
slap on the face and slap on the back.
Good. So I was saying that they should trademark it the way we trademark Nigerian jollof rice. We should trademark the Nigerian mother slap. It comes faster than your imagination, faster than the speed of light and the speed of sound and all that. Can you recall some mommy slap in your growing up? Because I have a lot.
It is bittersweet, my brother. My mom, oh, Jesus Christ. My mom was a no-nonsense woman. You would think that it was from my dad, because my dad was in the army. But my dad was gentle and all that. Maybe he just wanted to treat his own boys, brute way. But my mom, oh my God. Yes, I recall. Many, many times. There was even a time that she was beating me up and a neighbor of ours came in. And I can never forget that man. And the man, when somebody comes in and your mom is beating you, the expected thing is for the person to beg for you, right?
Yeah.
The man did not beg. The man said, madam, so can you blah, 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 blah. Okay, double. I was like, look at this bad guy.
What did I do? Yeah.
I can't remember what I did. I can't remember most of what I did, but I remember the beatings. Beatings with slippers, beatings with hand, beating with pankere, things like that. I think it set me in a good place. And what I also want to say is this. You see, no matter how hard we try to raise our kids, it's just by the grace of God. There are some people that grew up in perfect families, raised well, they had everything they needed, and they turned out to be not too good kids. So the Bible said, train up your child in the way of the Lord, and when it grows, it won't depart from it. So we'll just do our best and let God do the rest. It's not us. If we look at it, these kids, that we're just custodians of these children that God has given to us. So it's not really us. My parents did their best. And parents will always do their best because they're not perfect. But again, they're bad parenting. Let's not take that out of the question. They're bad parenting. They're parents that don't do the basics. Okay, just do basics. Try as much as possible to meet the needs of your child. Communicate well with your children, and then leave the rest for God to deal with.
Okay, so finally, as we go, you have a young boy or young girl who calls you and say, uh, uncle or coach or Babatunde, I'm here in Nigeria. I need you to give me advice.
Mm-hmm.
At what point in my life, or what should I put myself with in Nigeria before I set sail, whether by whatever means, to go to the abroad, whether it's Europe or America, for as long as it's a legal channel? What do I need to equip
Yeah.
myself? Because that's another big problem that we face here. People think that what's this saying? They say, well, I don't know if you said when you were growing up, anywhere but left face na front. Any way is a way. But I really don't believe that any way is a way. There is, even Bible will say
No.
that there is a way that seemeth right to a man, the end thereof is
It's
destruction.
destruction.
So one of the things that I want to come to America, it's not like, because I also tell people, Timmy Dakono was the one that first said that to me. He said, always put in your best. Now, everybody is not going to make it in Nigeria. If your success lies abroad, by all means, make haste and go there. But you still need some things. You need to be equipped. You tell me when I was starting radio, they say, look, the best thing you have, your best asset is your voice. Don't go and quarrel and lose your voice and come on air and begin to croak. So I know that I had to maintain my voice. So what are the things that somebody who wants to come abroad, what are the things he needs to equip himself or herself with before embarking on that journey?
Okay, sorry, I'm going to start from a very jovial perspective, okay? Number one, if you're wafi, you already have 20% of what you need.
What is that?
You are blessed. I'm telling you, you're a good talker. I've just been looking at you, fascinated the way you talk. And I'm saying myself, when I grow up, I want to be able to talk like you. But worry people can talk. My sister herself didn't worry, so we lived in in fact, my younger sister married an Urubu guy.
Oh, my brother.
So I know what it's like. Yeah. So we know I know what it's like. If you can talk, the confidence you guys have is just too much. You sometimes I've seen a worried girl or boy talk as if they own the whole world. Who you be. That confidence is just, I do my heart for it.
Thank you.
And that's part of what you need. That confidence that yes. The Yoruba says that, and let me try and interpret it in English. You don't get jazz, you don't get money, you don't come fit talk, then you're done for.
People die. We say that in worry too. You don't get money, you don't get wish, you not fine, you not see get mouth. We go kill you.
Yeah. That's supposed to be on a serious note. You need to be equipped with knowledge. Okay. Now let me give you an example. Now I always have stories. One of the reasons that warmed my heart to my in-laws family is my knowledge of the whole world, of even America. I know more places about America than Americans.
You are
Americans.
You are obviously Hadley Chase. James Hadley Chase never went to America, but he wrote stories about America like he lived there.
Exactly. So you read more. If you want to get to the world, you read books. You listen to. I remember. See, that's growing up. My father made me read newspaper. Made me read newspaper. I didn't like him because the newspaper has small print, and I have to read what is going on, what IBB is doing, what Gowon did, and all that. He would tell me stories about the Civil War. And tell me who Gowon is and all that. Exposure. Now you don't have to know too many things. Just know little things, and then you can engage in conversations. Don't waste all those knowledge of those American actors I watch: John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, Chuck Norris, James Bond, Roger Moore, Sean Connery. Those little things can come to play. And no little things. Look at you. I'm sure you can talk about American football anytime, any day. You can talk about basketball anytime, any day. You can talk about baseball anytime. You might not know everything about it, but your ability to be able to adapt. Yeah. If they ask you about Houston Astros baseball team now, if you don't know it, I know that you deflect. you go and talk about something else that would, bring you back to your point eventually. And that's intelligence, being able to adapt to any situation you're in. And that's basically what we need to learn. And confidence. Now, the difference between a child in an American school and a British school, a Nigerian school, is confidence. They teach, they encourage confidence a lot. Be able to speak and talk to anybody. Sometimes it is equated to arrogance, but it's not. It's just confidence. This guy is just yeah. They just yeah. So we your papa be so what you get where I look at. I fit talk. So what you call me and all that. And so, but basically you have to be knowledgeable. You have to. That's if you want to come to the United States or anywhere in the world, just know what you're doing, know things about little things. Just learn and read books, watch movies, watch documentaries, know what is going on, know how to talk, know the right thing to say, So, and you learn. So learn from Mr. Daffy here, and you watch his shows. You learn about the world.
All right.
I'm telling you.
So much. I don't think I've interviewed anybody that's made me laugh and entertained me like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed my time.
And I'm honored that a Nigerian is doing great work in the US at a time where people want to paint us as who we're not. I know we're not lazy. Whoever says we're lazy, that's his opinion. He's entitled to it, but it doesn't represent who we are. I also know that some people that are allegedly considered fraudulent people does not represent who we are. This is someone who represents who we are. I represent who you are as a Nigerian. We work hard, we're committed, we're dedicated. We are also very, very confident. As a matter of fact, it's my trademark. Like everybody that walk around me tells you, bros, confidence will kill him. Like if you want to get confident, I used to teach people how to be confident because one of the things I teach in my foundation is confidence. Like even there's a way you will not know something, your confidence will make people think you know it. So thank you very much. It doesn't encourage ignorance, but just be confident because it enables you to speak up and even ask questions where you need to ask questions. Thank you very much for the good work you're doing, for being a great ambassador of Nigeria. You don't have to have a diplomatic passport to be an ambassador of your country, your family, and your race. Thank you very much for being a bright light. And we hope that we'll talk to you again in the future. And please.
Oh, please, yes. Anytime.
If you are there, subscribe to Elevated TV on YouTube. Comment on the comment section. Click on the notification button. And please do share our works. Talk about what you think about this conversation that I've had about Coach Babatunde Ogunseinde. What's your opinion about him? My opinion about him is, it reminds me of the Awolowo School. And that name, Awolowo, is the best education that I got in Lagos. Now, I'm a warrior boy who's traveled everywhere and come to Lagos. And then I was MC an event. I was the master of ceremony of a sporting event. And somebody's name was Oladende Awolowo. Now, I know it's Awolowo, but I pronounced it as Awolowo. I was educated that day. All right, guys. I was educated that day in a very strong and public way. The man took the microphone from me and he said, "Young man, you have to learn how to pronounce people's name. Where are you from?" So I'm from Delta State. For that, my friend, I'll forgive you. But my name is Oladende Awolowo. So, like he said, learn and learn and learn and learn so you'll be able to adapt to any place and any country you go to. I don't feel like living in because he's inspired me, he's made me, laugh and all that. But then time flies when we're having.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed every minute. You're people that needs to be celebrated in Nigeria, and may you live long for you to be able to be celebrated. So we should celebrate people like you when we are alive. That's why I said that's why I said may you live long.
Yeah.
And little things you are doing. Thank you for reaching out to us, and God bless you real good and your family.
All right, my regards to your players, your students, and your family. God bless you, sir.
You do. All right. Bye.